Hello and welcome to another Demis Hellen tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at how to process vocals and we're just going to listen to how they sound at the start, and then we're just going to do some really basic stuff to them just to make them fit into the track a little bit better. But let's have a listen.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you.
Okay, so as you can hear, the vocals sound pretty sweet already. Not too much that we have to do to them to make them sound any better, any studio quality better, because it's already there. These were taken from Splice. I can't remember the pack. You can see there DHF1. So whatever that is, I was just listening to it with that playing over the top because I made this melody and thought this sounds like it needs a really, like, I don't know, smooth male singing rather than a female this time round. So I was just messing around. I found some vocal chops. And I thought, yeah, it needs an actual vocal line, and then this is where this came from. So as you can see, it's in F minor, the track. And let's just take a look at the mixer for the vocal track. So you can see DH1 there.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars.
So you can hear there's a little bit of editing in there, and that is me, but you can't hear it in the track, and it just gives it a little bit more flavour. You can see the chops where I've just shifted the loop because it was falling out of time as the track was progressing, and it was in the right, what do you call it? You know what I'm on about, the 44.1 kilohertz. It wasn't in 48 or anything, which usually tends to like put it out of time and stuff. It was just slightly falling out by maybe just like a few milliseconds, and you could see by the end of the actual vocal he was just out of time totally. So just chucked it all back just to make sure it all sounds good. Right, so let's have a look at what we can do here. Let's take a look at what's happening. So if we load Pro Q3 up, and yep, we're looping that section. So we're clipping already, so it's quite loud. So let's just drop that to minus. Let's just go for minus 10. Somewhere around there.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon.
Okay, so there's a little bit too much low detail in there. It's nice, it's captured. It gives us the option to tame it how we want. So what we're going to do is have a low roll off, and I'm just going to make it an 18, so it's a little bit steeper.
Yeah, they do. I'm on my way to you.
So that's too much, you're losing some of this harmonic detail.
Man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster.
Because this is where his fundamental frequency is. So we're at 129 hertz, so let's just sweep. Okay, so there's a little bit of boominess coming in there. You can see the dip from the bass. There's like a little bit of a dip here. So I'm just going to tame it back here. Let's just have around 60.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon.
So we're keeping some of the low detail, but we're not affecting the area of the bass line. And that is the first little tidy up that we'll do. So let's just get rid of the mixer here. Let's listen again. So obviously we need some gain compensation, so let's just head back to the mixer here.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you.
So it's hard to tell because obviously the volume differences. You're just going to go, yeah, that sounds better, the louder one. So we've just neatened off, and we don't really want to affect it any other way, really. So what I'm going to do is, there's already a bit of reverb on there, but we're going to chuck a little bit of Oral River. So let me know in the comments below as well, just whilst I'm setting this up, if you want to see this as a finished track. It's in need of a rap section, but you let me know if you want to see that, or should I find another vocal? Let me know in the comments, and then I'll take it from there. So what we're going to do is drop the gain.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster.
Okay, so
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you.
I only want the top end of the... So like starting at the low mids, where I want the reverb to be really kicking in.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster.
Too much bass. Just remove it. Okay, sounds good. So without Oriel River, let's listen.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon.
And with. I already like the sound of that, so we'll leave the reverb there. We might actually just tune it down a little bit. And then finally, we're just going to put a little bit of compression on there. And let's test out something new that I've got here, this TDR feedback compressor. And it's appeared on my other screen. Okay, so it's like a mastering compressor. I've not really had time to test it out because I don't really do mastering, but I'm trying to see if it's used on buses because we've got bus presets here. So what we're going to do is going to use the vocal bus fast, slow and smooth DACs, and let's just see what they sound like. So this is what it sounds like before.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster.
And then with.
I'm just a man.
Okay, so it's hitting it hard.
Wishing the rocket would go faster.
Now, considering that this studio quality vocal is already pretty well balanced, we don't want to go for something that's so crazy. So let's have a listen to the slow.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go
And without.
faster. I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go
So all I'm picking up is it's accentuating the bass end again, so we will have to compensate again with the EQ. But that is a little bit better. Is there like a dry mix there? There is. So let's have a look at what we can do to tame this down a bit.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would.
Let's just go for like a 1 to 2.
All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you. I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster.
So it's helping that reverb sit out a little bit more. So we can make a creative decision, and I'll do it here on screen so you can see whether we put the reverb before the compression or after. Because before, you're going to start like obviously making the reverb come out even more than what it was doing before, or you can do it so it's off after the signal, if you know what I mean. So the compressor's not affecting the reverb at all. So let's just put some dry mix in.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way.
Okay, so that's what it sounds like with the reverb before. This is what it sounds like with it after.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster.
And before.
I'm just a man on his.
It starts washing over it a lot more because what it's doing is pulling out the lower details because it's the compressor, and it's making those lower level details pop out even more. And it's not something I'm looking for on this. I'm really looking for something that just sweeps over it nicely. So what we're going to do is just reduce this reverb mix.
I'm just a man on his
So dry signal.
moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you. I'm just a man.
Right, so that sounds better. So we're going to have the reverb after the compression. And then what we're going to do is just load. I wouldn't load Pro Q3 every time, but just so you can see visually what I'm doing.
I'm just a man on his way to.
So it hasn't introduced too much bass, but it is there pushing up again. So what we'll do is we'll just do a nice roll off, about 40.
The stars remind me of you, yeah they do.
Just going to make it a bit steeper again.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon. Wish.
Okay, so we're just removing some of that bass. Alright, so let's have a listen to this now.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon. Wishing the rocket would go faster. Oh, the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you. I'm just a man.
Alright, so let's listen to this without effects, without any inserts.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon. Wishing the rocket would go faster.
So that's what we started off with before, which sounded really good before.
Wishing the rocket would go faster.
Then with.
Oh, the stars remind me of you, yeah they do.
Would help if I turned everything on.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon. Wishing the rocket would go faster. Oh, the stars remind me of you, yeah they do.
Okay. And I'm just going to push the volume. We'll use the volume of FabFilter to increase the gain again.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon. Wishing the rocket would go faster. Oh, the stars remind me of you, yeah they do.
So everything else is a little bit too loud around it, so let's just balance everything with the vocal missing. Big up for Kyra Tune there, free synth playing, and the bass is coming from synth 1. Very nice preset. Let's listen to this again.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon. Wishing the rocket would go fast.
That sounds so much better.
Oh, the stars remind me of you.
So over accentuating the reverb has now give the melody some character. It's really put this track into its frame of where it should go, and it sounds really good. To say it's so simple, we've just got two synths here playing exactly the same melody, and then we have the bass down here. And if you take a look at the mixer, very little happening here. We've got Kyra Tune with a bit of Tal reverb, again setting the tone, putting it into a space in the mix, and then let's just, what else have we got?
I'm just a man.
Bass has got nothing done to it yet. So let's listen to that vocal line one more time.
Yeah, they do. I'm on my way to you.
Sounded good before, and now it just sounds, obviously it needs something adding. So always remember on your vocals, if you want to capture and maintain the... I'm trying to open FabFilter here. I'm in the process of setting up a new Mac, so you will get better videos in the next one. So to maintain the detail and the warmth and vibrance of the singer in question, especially on males where they're a little bit lower down on the scale, just cut off that bit and tailor it to it. Don't just go, oh, it's 60 hertz, cut it off there. Listen to the song you're creating and listen to the singer and see where it becomes to, like, gets to a point where that singer loses his clarity. He just sounds like a really bad recording without any warmth, and you don't want to do that. So a good example here, if we just solo here, if I just put this here, you've lost the energy in his vocals.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon.
And you've kept the lower tones, which makes it sound like he's more right there singing at you, and that is what you're aiming for. And with compression, keep it gentle. Do not just whack on a preset that squashes the hell out of it, because once you do that, it just doesn't sound studio quality. It just sounds like you've overcompressed it, and you don't want anything to sound overcompressed because it's horrendous. We've chosen to put the reverb after the compression, so the reverb's just acting naturally. Let's say you were singing into a church hall, that's naturally, but if you were singing through a pipe, you're going to get a hell of a lot of compression on your voice before it's released at the other end of the pipe, and it's going to sound weird. And that's why I've chosen to put the reverb after the compressor. Sometimes you are looking for that effect, and you need it to be before the compressor, but in this case we don't. Okay, so yeah, that concludes the video. So if you enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button if you think that it deserves the like button, and also hit subscribe and the bell icon, because I upload twice a week and you don't want to miss out on some of the videos that are coming up. Okie dokie, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.